Have you ever noticed how some men seem to effortlessly attract women? Almost like there's an invisible magnet pulling them in, while others struggle endlessly no matter how kind, funny, or attentive they are. You know the type. He texts first, he's always available. He tries to impress with humor or compliments, and yet she drifts away, loses interest, or simply treats him like an option. It feels like attraction is some kind of mysterious magic, something only a lucky few are born with. But here's the truth, it's not magic at all. It's strategy. Attraction is a subtle dance of psychology, presence, and energy, and most men get it completely wrong. If you've been caught in the cycle of over-texting, replying too fast, over-explaining yourself, or constantly trying to prove how amazing you are, this video will completely shift the way you think about women, dating, and attraction, both in real life and online. We're not talking about cheap pickup lines, manipulative tricks, or faking confidence. That kind of approach only works in movies. We're going deeper. We're talking about a mindset built on power, clarity, and emotional control, principles that Machiavelli himself would have called the ultimate strategy of influence if he were alive today. Because real attraction isn't about chasing someone. It's about positioning yourself in a way that naturally draws her in, without begging, pleading, or performing. Calm, composed, rare. That's the kind of energy that makes you magnetic. By the end of this video, you won't just understand why your old approach didn't work. You'll learn 5 Machiavellian rules of attraction that completely change the dynamic. You'll discover how to create pull instead of pressure, build desire instead of dependency, generate curiosity instead of boredom. These rules aren't just theories, they are practical strategies you can apply today. And once you master them, women won't just notice you, they'll feel drawn to you in ways you may have never experienced before. So if you're ready to stop chasing and start commanding attention, to stop explaining yourself and start creating intrigue, and to stop performing and start being magnetic, then let's dive in. Rule 1. Be unpredictable. The power of mystery. The first rule may sound simple on the surface, but it's deceptively powerful. Be the one she can't fully predict. Most men don't realize just how destructive predictability can be. When a woman knows exactly how you'll respond, when you'll text, or how much effort you'll put in, you've stripped away one of the most important fuels of attraction: mystery. Think about it. When everything about you is laid bare from the very beginning, there's no tension, no spark, no intrigue. You've removed the possibility for her to wonder, imagine, or chase, and in relationships, curiosity is what drives desire. Machiavelli once said, "People respect what they cannot fully understand." And the same principle applies to attraction. When you overshare your feelings too quickly, validate her without her earning it, or make your every thought and action obvious, you unintentionally give her control over the dynamic. When she feels in control, she doesn't chase, you do. This is where most men go wrong. They try to be completely transparent, thinking honesty and effort will automatically generate attraction. In reality, it often has the opposite effect. Mystery isn't about hiding your true self. It's about being composed, intentional, and selective in what you reveal. Practical ways to implement mystery. Don't reveal all your intentions on the first date. Many men make the mistake of announcing their entire plan for a relationship on the first date. "I'm looking for something serious," or "I want a girlfriend who's this and that." Instead, let curiosity build naturally. Share small pieces about yourself, your interests, or your past experiences, but leave room for questions. Let her discover you gradually, like reading a compelling book one chapter at a time. Avoid good morning texts every single day, unless she has clearly shown consistent interest. Constantly texting first signals predictability and availability, which decreases intrigue. It's better to vary your approach. Sometimes text first, sometimes let her initiate. Give her space to wonder about you. When you aren't always immediately available, she begins to appreciate and anticipate your presence. Don't double text if she doesn't reply immediately. Silence can be one of the most powerful tools in attraction. When she doesn't respond for a few hours or even a day, resist the urge to follow up. Let the gap create a sense of tension and anticipation. She will start thinking, what is he doing? Why hasn't he texted back? That curiosity drives attraction. Be selective in what you share online. Your social media presence is another place where unpredictability can work in your favor. Avoid posting everything about your day or constantly updating stories. Instead, share selectively moments that reflect value, adventure, or unique experiences. Let your online energy signal quality over quantity. When she sees a rare, meaningful post, it catches her attention and draws her in. Why mystery works? Mystery works because humans are naturally curious creatures. Our brains are wired to fill in gaps and seek answers to unresolved questions. When you're predictable, there are no gaps. She knows the ending before the story even begins. When you are composed, calm, and selective, her mind starts to actively engage with you, trying to figure out who you are and what you want. That mental engagement fuels attraction more than any compliment, gift, or display of effort ever could. Mystery is not manipulation. It's not about playing games or being deceitful. It's about holding power over your own presence, controlling your energy and moving through life in a way that naturally generates interest. When done correctly, it makes you rare, intriguing, and magnetic. Real-life example. Imagine this. You meet a woman at a coffee shop. Instead of immediately telling her your entire life story, your goals, and what kind of relationship you want, you share small anecdotes, funny stories, personal achievements, or quirky habits, but leave a few things unsaid. You respond to her questions thoughtfully, but never feel the need to explain everything. She leaves the conversation thinking about what else you might be like, wanting to see you again and feeling a pull she can't quite explain. You didn't chase her. You didn't beg for attention. You didn't try to perform. You simply existed with composed intrigue. That's the power of mystery. Rule 2. Make your presence rare and valuable online. In today's digital age, attraction doesn't just happen in person, it happens online too. And this is where most men completely miss the mark. Rule number 2 is simple but incredibly powerful. Make your presence rare, meaningful, and desirable. Think about it. How often do you scroll through social media and see guys constantly posting, commenting on every girl's content, or trying to make themselves seen and noticed? That desperate need for attention doesn't create attraction, it kills it. Instead of pull, they generate noise. They make themselves predictable, overexposed, and ultimately forgettable. Now think like Machiavelli. Power is perception. Influence is not about being everywhere at once. You don't need constant visibility to make an impact. In fact, the opposite is true. Scarcity enhances value. A single high-quality post that reflects your lifestyle, ambition, or personality is far more magnetic than dozens of random, attention-seeking updates. Practical ways to make your online presence rare and valuable. Post selectively and with purpose. A single story that intrigues her is far more effective than 10 that scream, "Look at me." Think quality over quantity. Every post should communicate something about who you are becoming, not what you're trying to prove. Whether it's a glimpse of your hobby, a personal achievement, or a moment of adventure, make it intentional. Let her pause and wonder, what is he up to? Keep your profile clean and polished. Your online presence is a reflection of your life, not a diary of every thought or feeling. Remove unnecessary clutter, old posts that don't align with your growth, and anything that signals neediness or overexposure. Your profile should show purpose, ambition, and high standards, without screaming for validation. Avoid sharing personal frustrations or emotional struggles publicly. There's a reason silence is seductive. Constantly venting online about stress, heartbreak, or disappointment signals emotional instability, which decreases attraction. Instead, focus on sharing positivity, growth, or moments that inspire curiosity. Women are drawn to emotional strength. They want to see a man who can handle his life, not broadcast every problem for attention. Engage selectively with others. If she sees you commenting under every girl's post or liking every story, it diminishes your value. Instead, engage only when it reflects genuine connection or adds meaning. Over-engagement makes you appear available and eager, which is unattractive. Rarity communicates that your attention is valuable, and your time is not up for grabs. Use timing to your advantage. The moment you post can create tension and curiosity. Don't flood your stories or feed with random updates. Post at moments that matter or when it aligns with your lifestyle. A well-timed story or post that showcases ambition, humor, or adventure naturally draws attention without demanding it. Why this works? This rule works because human psychology is wired to value what is rare and scarce. When your presence is selective, people begin to notice your absence and actively seek you out, wondering what you're doing or thinking. Scarcity creates curiosity, and curiosity creates desire. Additionally, a controlled online presence communicates emotional stability and independence. It signals that your life is already full, that you're moving with purpose, and that your attention is not up for grabs. Women sense this immediately. They are instinctively drawn to men who appear complete, fulfilled, and selective with their energy. Rule 3. Stop over-explaining. Command respect through composure. The third rule is stop over-explaining yourself. Many men mistakenly think that justifying every action, apologizing for perceived flaws, or trying to show they're different builds respect. In reality, it signals insecurity. Machiavelli taught that a leader's strength is reflected in those around him. But in modern attraction, your strength is reflected in how you carry yourself. When you constantly defend your words or apologize for every small detail, you put her in the position of judge, and that dynamic destroys attraction. Practical examples. When she challenges or teases you, don't panic. Smile and respond with calm confidence. You'll figure me out later. If she questions why you didn't reply immediately, respond, I don't rush the things I care about. No further explanation needed. Own your pace, your rhythm, your choices. Confidence isn't loud. It's composed and unbothered. The man who doesn't need to explain himself every second naturally intrigues women. They chase the mystery of a composed, self-possessed individual. Rule 4. Be emotionally selective, not needy. The fourth rule is about emotional control. Care selectively. Don't overgive and never be reactive. Being emotionally needy, melting at every compliment, panicking when she's cold, or overthinking her every move gives her leverage. Your peace becomes dependent on her actions, and that imbalance kills attraction. Machiavellian attraction is not about being heartless. It's about emotional selectivity, offering your energy and attention where it's earned, not where it's demanded. Practical examples. If she's cold over text, don't write paragraphs to win her back. Pull back calmly. If she flakes on plans, acknowledge it lightly and move on. No chasing, no pleading. Match her energy instead of over-investing. Let her wonder which version of you she truly gets. The key is to create a dynamic where she's the one who has to engage to access your presence. Intrigue and attraction thrive in that tension. Rule 5. Build your power. Make her feel lucky. Finally, the fifth rule is about self-mastery and building your own life. Most men chase because their time is empty, their goals are scattered, and their identity is too wrapped up in a woman's attention. Attraction flips when you become the opposite, focused, driven, and fulfilled. Machiavelli would recognize this immediately. The strongest influence comes from a person who is already complete and chooses to share time selectively. Practical examples. Build your craft, business, or physical presence. A man with purpose naturally commands attention. Don't text or engage out of boredom. Let your time reflect your value. In real life, your posture, composure, and focus communicate your independence and self-sufficiency far more than words ever could. Women sense this immediately. They feel the difference between a man who is available for validation and a man whose life already has gravity. Applying the rules in real life and online. Let's make this practical. These principles only work if applied consistently. Offline examples. On a date, if she says, you probably say that to all the girls, don't over-explain. Smirk, I don't say much. Observe how the dynamic subtly shifts. At the gym, in class, or in public, maintain calm composure. Be friendly, but don't overcompensate. Focus and stillness are more attractive than trying to impress. Online examples. She leaves your message on scene. Don't triple text. Post content that reflects value and life purpose, then remain silent. If she gives less energy in a situationship, pull back, not to punish, but to protect your standards. Over time, these small adjustments completely change the dynamic. Women notice it. They feel it. They chase it, because you're no longer chasing. The core mindset shift. Here's the part most men never understand. Power doesn't chase. Power shapes the environment. Stop asking, how do I get her to like me? Start asking, how do I move in a way that creates curiosity? Become grounded, emotionally stable, and intentional to the point that women can't figure out why they keep thinking about you. That is strategy, not manipulation. By mastering these 5 Machiavellian rules, be unpredictable and mysterious. Make your online presence rare and valuable. Stop over-explaining and defending yourself. Be emotionally selective, not needy. Build your own power so she feels lucky to get your time. You don't just change how women see you, you change how you see yourself. You stop chasing, begging, and performing, and you start commanding attraction naturally. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Stop trying to make someone choose you. Stop bending, over-explaining, or chasing approval. Instead, move through life like someone who has already chosen themselves, who is grounded, focused, and emotionally unshakable. When your energy, purpose, and calm confidence lead the way, everything changes. She notices it even if she doesn't consciously realize why. Attraction stops being a struggle. It becomes effortless. Think about it. When a man is fully aligned with his mission, fully in control of his emotions, and fully present in his own life, he doesn't need to convince anyone. That presence, that quiet power naturally draws women in. They feel the difference. They chase because they sense value, stability, and self-possession, not because they are being manipulated, but because you've created a space they want to step into. Here's a small challenge. Write a comment below with one word describing how you plan to implement these Machiavellian rules. It might be mystery, power, focus, or anything that resonates with you. This small act will help you internalize the mindset, reinforce your commitment, and it might even help someone else in the process. If this video opened your eyes to a new approach to attraction, hit the like button. It helps us reach more people who are struggling in the same cycle. Share this video with a friend who's tired of chasing, over-explaining, or trying too hard. Sometimes, seeing a different perspective is all it takes to start moving differently. Remember, attraction is strategy, not magic. It's about your energy, your presence, and the way you move in the world. Think like a Machiavellian. Act with intention. Build your life. Protect your peace. And watch how the dynamic changes completely. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.